Welcome back, everyone. Take a look at this. Right now, we're far below the 4 trillion threshold. We're down 2.4%, and the cryptocurrency market cap just hit 3.88 trillion. Everything has been severely damaged today, man. The price of Bitcoin is hovering around 112,700. Ether is trading at 400. And guess what? XRP is currently trading at 284. I recently got some at 285. Yes, you heard correctly, and I'm rather happy about it. We anticipate a 5.2% decline over the past day and a 13.2% decline over the course of the week. In essence, I simply got a great bargain, such as discovering that blue light exceptional. However, keep in mind that this is not financial advice. Look, just own it if this market makes you uneasy. The drama is not something I have time for. I can see what's going on. Congress is currently on vacation in August, but I promise that these markets will soar once again when they return. I'm simply reading it that way. Our resistance is at 3.01 and our support is at 284. All right, have a look at this. Jacob King just released a chart that outlines MicroStrategy's entire strategy, which he refers to as a reflexive loop that only functions if Bitcoin continues to rise. Furthermore, he claims that when this thing finally fails, it will make Madoff, Enron, and FTX seem insignificant. Let's hope he's mistaken about that. Hey, please click the like button if you're finding this XRP update helpful. I'm able to connect with more people in the crypto field thanks to it. YouTube shows the video to additional individuals who could benefit from these updates each time you like it. Okay, let's get started again. But here's the deal. People are saying this because the market is collapsing, which is making things extremely difficult for shareholders of MicroStrategies. It's definitely not where they expect it to be sitting at the moment. This is how their entire system functions. To purchase Bitcoin, the micro approach first acquires funds via debt or equity. The price of that Bitcoin rises after they actually purchase it. Retail investors and index funds are pleased when Bitcoin's market capitalization increases. The cycle then begins anew when they issue additional equity to purchase more Bitcoin. This is something they don't always talk about, though. If you're not paying attention each time they issue more equity, it may dilute what you already possess. That's the source of all these wild price fluctuations and market turbulence. Now for the important question. Will MicroStrategy's bacon be saved if Congress returns from recess and passes some crypto legislation? Michael Saylor is essentially playing the same musical chairs game as the Fed, according to Greg Kidd. You now know what you're up against, if that doesn't frighten you. Don't claim you weren't warned. Check this out then. As all of this is happening, BlackRock sold out 68.7 million, and Cathie Wood's ARK-21 recently unloaded 64.4 million worth of Bitcoin. It's strange for Wall Street that they're making money during this decline, isn't it? They don't usually do that. What is actually happening here then? Demand is currently at an all-time low. Matt Kaiser was asked a reasonable question by Bill Morgan. This is fixed by Bitcoin, right? Here's my position on all of this, you see. It is my sincere hope that the Bitcoin community will succeed and earn a ton of money. With Bitcoin, I also have a stake in the outcome. Here's what I think it all comes down to, though. This whole situation is going to be disastrous if Bitcoin isn't integrated into company treasuries, strategic reserves, municipalities, and pretty much everywhere else on a large scale. To be honest, though, I believe they will succeed. Why am I hopeful? Because the plans of this administration have been rather openly expressed. In other words, J.D. Vance expressed his exact feelings on Bitcoin when he appeared at Bitcoin Vegas. There is no need to mince words. There is undoubtedly a window of possibility here, but we will have to wait and see how things work out. Congress's actions after their vacation will be the true test, particularly with regard to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in particular. Here's an intriguing development. Jim and I just revealed a hint that the next phase of incentives is about to begin. However, notice that they are emphasizing certain letters. The P stands for preparation, the R for rewards, and the X for next. What do you get when you combine those? That was a really smart little hint about XRP. You may imagine what these incentives will be, but I'm genuinely interested to see what they've got in store. We'll need to keep our ears open because there's undoubtedly more to come. This is what adds even more intrigue to it. Gemini has secured a $175 million credit facility joint lending arrangement. You know what's included in the mix? RUSD is unquestionably present. Here, Jack McDonald is sharing some very important information. According to him, RUSD on the XRP ledger is becoming more and more integrated into conventional finance every day. The catch is that we're discussing anything from seamless cross-border payments to extremely strong collateral. For the first time ever, it is now being utilized to pay out IPO proceeds. And here's the thing, RUSD was already gaining a lot of credibility as the gold standard for compliance in both traditional and cryptocurrency financial circles before the brilliant legislation was passed. Now that the floodgates are open, you should definitely keep an eye out. Bullish and Gemini traders are following the RLUSD and stablecoin trend, which is precisely what is occurring. They're taking advantage of the favorable circumstances. The fact is, this change is going to have a significant impact on every finance organization. When Simon McLaughlin noted that just last year, $2 trillion in payments were made using stable coinage, he was spot on. This industry is currently flying in the fast lane and speeding down the highway. Look, there are two reasons why I'm truly excited about this. First of all, as everyone is aware, Uphold is considering an IPO or a merger of some sort. Indeed, Ripple is pursuing that banking license. To be honest, though, I would be ecstatic if Ripple suddenly jumped in and acquired Uphold. Don't misunderstand me. I don't have any inside knowledge. I'm just wishing this would happen. To be completely honest, though, I own both Uphold and Ripple SPVs. I therefore have a stake in the outcome. However, it goes beyond my portfolio. Knowing what Uphold has been doing behind the scenes excites me. They have been working hard on their business-to-business B2B side over the last few years, which has resulted in much more consistent cash flow. They would be out there making payments and serving as market makers rather than merely being another brokerage. Is it going to happen? A guy can dream, right? Who knows? When it comes to dreams coming true, you must listen to this interview with Scott Melker, Arch Public's Tillman Holloway, and Andrew Parrish. They're discussing how you might even attempt to gatekeep such a thing. Additionally, they anticipate an extraordinarily wild breakout. It's worth listening to, I promise. Ripple, in my opinion, is at the vanguard of that. Take a peek at what they're doing for Gemini's initial public offering. Yes, I believe they are providing them with a credit line for $175 million. Not financial advice from me or anybody else, just my opinions on the direction things are going. On the next one, I'll see you everyone.